Hello there. Welcome to another series on BET. Biologists explain this. I still remain your biologist, Peters Abiodun, and today we will be discussing the topic, the nervous system. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to do the following. One, you will be able to describe, let's say, define a nerve and be able to describe the branches of the nervous system and also be able to describe a neuron and types of neurons and be able to describe the types of cells in the nervous system and be able to distinguish between the structure and the function of motor and sensory neurons respectively. Let's have a closer look at this neuron. Now, the cell body, like I said earlier on, is the cytoplasmic part of the neuron. Okay, and it contains, like any cell, the nucleus where you have got the DNA and the nucleolus that produces ribosomes, and then you've got all the organelles. So just so it's got a protoplasm, that is the cytoplasm and its content, and the nucleus within the cytoplasm. That is what the cell body is all about. And then the dendron is one of the branches of the cell body. It's like the membrane is modified. That you'll see diagram in subsequent slides. So the dendron is is a branch of the neuron that transmits impulses from receptors to the cell body. Now look at again. It transfer when you are receiving stimuli, auditory through your ears, visual through your eyes, okay, and then through other sense organs that you have, okay, olfactory to your nose and your taste buds in your mouth, you've got the dendron as the neuron, as the branch of the neuron that connects with the stimulus of taste, of sight, or whatever it is, or smell. And then, having received the stimulus, it transmits the stimulus into the cell body, okay, before it connects to the next branch. So the axon is the branch of the neuron that takes impulses out of the cell body. So if you look at it, impulses enter at one end and leave the neuron at the other end, that is at the end of the axon. So dendrons bring impulses in to the cell body while axons transmit impulses out. Now, in order to maximize reception of stimuli, dendrons have branches called dendrites, just like you have your arm. Remember, your arm has got hand, and your hand has got fingers, what we call digits, the phalanges. And so the fingers, they increase your capacity to hold. Just imagine your hand without fingers. It becomes difficult to receive or hold on to anything. So just look at your hand as you're listening to this presentation, and then you have an idea in your eye. So your fingers represent the dendrites to increase the reception capacity, and then the impulses go in. So your arm will represent the dendron in this discussion. So far, we have discussed the branches of the nervous system. We have discussed what a neuron is. We have discussed the cells that make up the neuron, the cells that make up the nervous system, that is the neurons and the glial cells. And then we've discussed the parts of a neuron as a cell, that is the cell body or centron, the axon, and the dendrons respectively. I want to discuss types of cells, and the types of cells can be grouped into three. One, you've got the sensory neuron, which is also referred to as the afferent neuron. Then, on the other hand, you've got the motor, or what is referred to as the efferent neuron. In between these two, you've got the neuron referred to as intermediate or interneuron or association neuron or relay neuron. Now, this slide presents to you or is showing you the neuron, a typical neuron. Now, if you look at it, you've got the neuron, the cell body to your left of the screen, and then you've got these fibers looking at cables of wire. So both diagrams that you're looking at, they are just different diagrams of the same thing. And this particular neuron is the motor neuron. You understand that later when you begin to study the types of neurons. So this is a motor neuron. Here you've got the cell body, which is um, represented in the color blue to your left, and then you can see the branches of the cell body. Those are dendrons and they are dendrites. Then you've got the axon on the other end. Usually there are many dendrons of a neuron and just one axon. That is very important. Okay, the dendron receives stimuli from different sources, but usually it's one axon that will transmit the impulse that's generated from the stimuli is one axon that will take it away from that neuron as a cell. We round off this introductory lesson on nervous system with the following questions, meaning you will practice or attempt these questions and send the answers to me for assessments, and I will get back to you. So let's look at the questions. Question one is asking you to describe the branches of the nervous system. Number two, to state the role of the peripheral nervous system in the body. Number three, what are the glial cells? Number four, glial cells that produce myelin sheaths in the PNS are known as what? Number five, what is the role of oligodendrocytes in the nervous system? Number six, you have to describe the differences between the structure of the motor neuron and the sensory neuron. Number seven, you have to state the role of axons in the nervous system. Number eight, you have to name the cells that nourish neurons. Then number nine, name the cells that scavenge pathogens and dead cells. That's in the nervous system. And lastly, just for the sake of this presentation, you are to say what are the branches of the nervous system. Answer these questions to assess your understanding of what has been taught so far. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, this introductory lesson on nervous system. It will get more interesting as we go into the next lesson, which will be discussing that how impulses are generated and then transmitted along the neurons and across the neurons throughout the nervous system. So please attempt the questions that you had on the previous slide and send your answers to me through these channels that you have on the screen. You can use my WhatsApp, send through email, Instagram handle, or YouTube channel. You can use any of these four. You can like all of them. Remember, no matter the examination you are preparing for, I'll be very, very glad to work with you and to walk you through the journey. With my years of experience, 26 years of teaching advanced level Cambridge A-level biology, I would definitely be glad to help you. And for those of us who are Cambridge candidates who have come across this PowerPoint, you remember that this topic is a very important topic in your paper 4. Paper 4 is 100 marks. So I hope you learned something from this lesson that would help you in being able to answer some questions in on nervous coordination. Remember, if you have questions, get across to me through all this media that you have on the screen, and I'll be eager to help. Remember, I'm with you all the way through. We be together. Biologists explain this. See you next lesson. Bye.